You do not need an entire year to begin changing your life. You do not need the perfect Monday. You do not need a new month, a new notebook, or another motivational promise. You need one day in which your actions finally agree with the life you say you want. One day will not solve every problem. It will not erase every mistake. It will not instantly make you disciplined, successful, confident, or peaceful. But one day lived with intention can break a pattern that has controlled you for years. That is where transformation begins, not when everything changes at once, when the direction changes. Most people are not trapped because they lack potential. They are trapped because each day quietly repeats the one before it. They wake up and reach for the phone. They enter other people's lives before entering their own. They postpone the difficult task. They consume more than they create. They wait for motivation. They become distracted. They feel disappointed. Then they promise themselves that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow arrives and the same pattern is waiting. Eventually, repetition begins to feel like identity. You stop saying, I keep delaying. You begin saying, I am a lazy person. You stop saying, I have been distracted. You begin saying, I cannot focus. You stop seeing behavior as something you practice and begin treating it as something you are. But the truth is simpler. You are not permanently defined by the habits you have repeated. Habits can be interrupted, and attention can be retrained. Self-trust can be rebuilt. Your life can move in a different direction, but not through another promise, through evidence. You need one day that proves you can live differently, and that day begins before you fall asleep tonight. Do not leave every decision for tomorrow morning. Your tired, comfortable, half-awake mind will choose whatever requires the least effort. It will reach for the phone. It will press the alarm again. It will tell you that one more day does not matter. Prepare before that voice appears. Put your phone somewhere you cannot reach from the bed. Prepare a glass or bottle of water. Choose what you will wear. Clear the place where you will work. Write down the most important task you must complete tomorrow, not a list of 20 goals. One task, the task that would make tomorrow meaningful, even if the rest of the day became imperfect. Perhaps it is finishing an assignment, editing a project, beginning a business idea, applying for an opportunity, organizing your finances, having a conversation you have avoided. Choose the task that your future needs, not the task that your comfort prefers. Write it on paper, then choose a specific time to begin. A task without a time remains a wish. Do not tell yourself you will do it sometime tomorrow. Decide when preparation is a form of discipline. It reduces the number of decisions you must make while resistance is strong. You are not depending on tomorrow's motivation. You are creating a structure that will support tomorrow's behavior. Then go to sleep at a reasonable time. Do not spend the final hour of your night consuming noise and expect your mind to wake with clarity. The last thing you feed your mind often follows you into rest. If you fall asleep comparing your life, replaying arguments, watching endless videos, or responding to messages, your body may lie down while your mind continues running. Turn the screen off. Allow the room to become quiet. Tell yourself, tomorrow does not need a perfect version of me. It needs a present version of me. Then rest. When morning arrives, your first battle will begin before you leave the bed. The alarm sounds. Your mind immediately searches for comfort. 5 more minutes. You did not sleep perfectly. You can start the plan tomorrow. Today is not important. Do not argue with this voice. Stand up. The longer you debate with comfort, the more reasonable delay begins to sound. Place your feet on the floor before your emotions have time to create a story. This first action matters, not because waking at a certain hour makes you superior. It matters because you made a decision, and now you are proving that your decision has authority. Self-trust is not built through positive statements alone. It is built when your behavior begins respecting your own word. Take a slow breath. Then another. Do not touch the phone. Do not enter the world yet. Sit for a moment and notice what your mind is carrying. Perhaps yesterday's disappointment is still present. Perhaps you immediately remember someone you miss. Perhaps you feel anxiety about everything you must do. Do not follow every thought. Observe it. A thought appearing in the morning does not mean it deserves the rest of the day. Say silently, "This is a new day, and I have not decided to repeat yesterday." Stand, drink water, open the curtains. Let natural light enter. Wash your face, make the bed. These actions may seem too ordinary to change anything, but your life is mostly made of ordinary actions. The first completed task creates order. It sends a message to your mind. The day has begun. You are participating. You are not waiting to feel different before behaving differently. Now protect the first part of your morning from your phone. For at least 30 minutes, do not check messages, social media, news, or entertainment. The outside world can wait. When you touch the phone immediately, you give strangers, algorithms, headlines, and other people's emotions the power to choose your mental state. One message creates anxiety. One photograph creates comparison. One piece of bad news creates fear. One short video leads to another. Before you have completed anything meaningful, your attention has already been divided. This is why you feel tired before your real work begins. Your body may be awake, but your mind has been scattered across hundreds of unrelated things. Protect the doorway. Your attention is most powerful before the world begins pulling at it. Use some of that attention for yourself. Move your body. You do not need a perfect workout. Stretched. Walk, perform a few simple exercise. Let your breathing become deeper. Let your blood move. Energy is not always something you possess before action. Sometimes energy is created by action. Many people wait to feel energetic before moving. Then they remain still and wonder why the heaviness continues. Begin with 10 minutes. Do not ask whether 10 minutes will transform your body. Ask whether it will transform the direction of your morning. During movement, discomfort may appear. The mind may say that you have done enough. Observe that voice. Continue safely. You are practicing more than exercise. You are learning that discomfort can exist without making every decision. This lesson will help when work becomes boring. When someone irritates you, when loneliness asks you to return to an unhealthy connection, when your old habits invite you back, after movement, sit somewhere quiet, no phone, no music, no outside voice. Let your breathing settle. At first, silence may feel uncomfortable. Your mind will produce thoughts quickly. You are behind. You have too much work. Other people are succeeding faster. What if you fail again? Do not fight these thoughts. Fighting gives them more importance. Notice them. Let them pass. Your mind creates thoughts. You choose which thoughts become actions. This difference is one of the foundations of self-mastery. You may think, "I am not motivated." That does not mean you cannot begin. You may think, "This will be difficult." That does not mean it is impossible. You may think, "I have failed before." That does not mean failure must become today's result. A thought is not a command. Remain quiet for 5 or 10 minutes. Then ask yourself one question. What is the most important thing I can do today? You already wrote the answer last night. Write it again. Then ask another question. What is most likely to stop me? Be honest. Perhaps it is your phone. Perhaps it is fear of producing imperfect work. Perhaps it is another person's messages. Perhaps it is the belief that you need to feel ready. Identify the obstacle, then remove what can be removed. Put the phone in another room. Close unnecessary applications. Tell people you will be unavailable for a period. Prepare the materials. Make beginning easier. Now start the most important task before giving your best energy to entertainment. This is the center of the one-day plan. Creation before consumption. Your future before distraction. Responsibility before comfort. Set a timer for 45 minutes. During that time, Work on one thing. Do not switch tasks. Do not check messages. Do not search for another motivational video. Do not organize endlessly to avoid beginning. Begin badly if necessary. Write an imperfect first sentence. Duplicate a rough first version. Open the document. Make the call. Perform the first step. Perfection is often fear wearing respectable clothing. It tells you that you need more preparation, more information, a better mood, better conditions. But preparation becomes avoidance when it never leads to action. You do not need the perfect result today. You need evidence that you can remain with something difficult. Your mind will try to escape. It will remind you of small tasks. You should answer a message. You should check something quickly. You need a snack. Perhaps you should begin later. Notice the attempt return. Focus is not a peaceful state in which distraction disappears. Focus is the repeated act of returning after distraction appears. Every return makes your attention stronger. You are training the mind in the same way you train the body. The resistance is the training. When the timer ends, stand up, breathe, drink water, look away from the screen. Do not immediately open social media. Your break should restore your attention, not take it away completely. Walk for a few minutes, then return for another focused period if needed. By completing meaningful work early, you change your relationship with the entire day. You no longer carry the weight of avoidance. You have produced evidence. You began when you said you would begin. You stayed when part of you wanted to escape. You moved something forward. That evidence is more valuable than temporary motivation. Motivation tells you what might be possible. Evidence proves what you can do. After this focused work, eat a balanced meal. Do not turn the meal into another opportunity for unconscious scrolling. Sit, eat slowly. Notice the food. Lump your nervous system to experience one activity at a time. Modern life trains people to divide their awareness constantly. They eat while watching, walk while scrolling, speak while checking messages, work while responding to notifications. Then they wonder why their mind never feels settled. Presence is energy that has stopped leaking. When you do one thing fully, the mind becomes less exhausted. Use part of this day to notice how often your hand reaches for the phone without a clear reason. You are not always searching for information. Sometimes you are escaping a feeling, boredom, loneliness, uncertainty, fear of the task, the need for reassurance. Before opening the phone, pause and ask, what am I looking for? If there is a real reason, use it intentionally. If there is no reason, place it down. Every unconscious check strengthens the habit. Every conscious refusal weakens it. Later in the morning or early afternoon, create one communication period. Check important messages. And reply to what genuinely requires a response, not necessary emails or calls, but do not remain permanently available. When every person can interrupt you at any moment, your own goals never receive complete attention. Availability is not the same as responsibility. You can care about people without responding instantly. You can be kind without sacrificing every focused hour. Create structure around communication. Some messages can wait. Some conversations do not deserve to happen today. And some arguments do not deserve to happen at all. During this one day, refuse to participate in unnecessary conflict. Someone may misunderstand you. Someone may send a careless message. Someone may disagree with you. Do not allow one moment to become the emotional center of the day. Pause before replying. Ask whether the conversation can create understanding. Ask whether a response is necessary. Ask whether your words will improve anything, or simply release your emotion. Not every insult requires a defense. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every misunderstanding must be corrected immediately. Protect your energy. If a boundary must be stated, state it clearly. I am not continuing this conversation if the disrespect continues. I need time before I respond. That does not work for me. Short, Calm sentences often carry more strength than long emotional explanations. Then return to the plan. Do not spend the next hour replaying the interaction. The event may have taken 1 minute. Do not voluntarily give it the rest of the day. At midday, go outside if possible. Walk for 10 or 15 minutes. Look at something farther away than a screen. Breathe fresh air. Lump your body to move. Sometimes what you call mental exhaustion is overstimulation. Your mind does not always need more entertainment. It may need less input. Silence can restore what constant consumption drains. During the walk, do not use the time to criticize your life. Look around. Notice where you are. Feel your feet touching the ground. You do not have to solve your entire future during one walk. Return to the present. The future is built only through actions taken in the present. Afterward, complete one task you have been avoiding because it feels small, unpleasant, or boring. Clean the part of the room you ignore. Pay the bill. Organize the document that toyed the appointment. Reply to the important email. Return something you borrowed. Unfinished responsibilities remain open inside the mind. Even when you are not thinking directly about them, they consume energy. Finishing one neglected task creates mental space. This is not glamorous work. But a strong life is supported by responsibilities handled before they become crises. Do what can be done. Stop carrying simple tasks for weeks because you did not want to face 10 minutes of discomfort. Then spend time learning something connected to your future. Do not consume random information. Choose one useful skill or idea. Write, study, practice, but apply what you learn immediately. Watching tutorials can feel productive. Reading advice can feel productive. Planning can feel productive. But information becomes transformation only when it enters behavior. Go create a small result. Use the technique. Write a page. Complete an exercise. Build something imperfect. The person who applies one lesson can progress further than the person who collects 100 lessons and changes nothing. At some point during this day, your energy will drop. Expect it. Do not panic. Do not interpret it as proof that the plan has failed. Energy rises and falls. The goal is not to feel powerful every minute. The goal is to respond intelligently when energy becomes lower. Drink water. Eat if needed. Walk. Read for a short period. Close your eyes. Breathe. But place a boundary around the rest. Rest is something you return from a clause. Has no clear ending. Do not lie down with the phone and disappear for 2 hours. Choose how long you will pause, then stand up when the time ends. This is another way to rebuild self-trust. You said the break would last 15 minutes. You return after 15 minutes. Your words begin gaining weight. During the afternoon, your old emotional habits may appear. You may think about someone who hurt you. You may feel the urge to check their page. You may wonder whether they miss you. You may want to reopen a conversation because the day feels quiet. Pause. Do not confuse loneliness with a signal to return. Do not confuse missing someone with evidence that the relationship was healthy. Do not exchange the progress of this day for temporary reassurance. Name the feeling. I feel lonely. I want attention. I want to know whether I still matter to them. Then remind yourself that your value is not waiting inside another person's reply. Plead the phone down. Move your attention into something real. Call someone who consistently supports you. Continue your work. Go outside. Proud what you feel without sending it. An emotion can be respected without being obeyed. That is emotional strength. Later, train your body more fully if you are able. Exercise responsibly. Walk at a faster pace. Commit a structured workout. Do something that challenges you. Not because you need to punish your body, because physical effort reminds you that you can move through resistance. The mind says, stop before the work has truly begun. You continue safely. The body becomes tired, but the mind discovers that discomfort is survivable. You finish feeling different from the way you began. Not because every problem disappeared, because you acted despite what you felt. After training, clean yourself, change your clothes, decorate order in your environment, clear the desk, put things where they belong, room what you no longer need. A clean environment will not solve your life, but constant disorder creates more decisions, more distraction, and more mental noise. You deserve a space that supports the person you are trying to become. You do not need luxury. You need intention. As evening approaches, reduce stimulation. The day does not have to end in the same unconscious way your old days ended. Do not reward discipline with hours of uncontrolled scrolling. Read deliberately. Watch something within a clear limit. Talk with family or someone you value. Write, walk, sit outside. Enjoy the evening without losing yourself inside it. Discipline should not remove all pleasure. It should protect pleasure from becoming dependence. Entertainment is not the enemy. Unconscious consumption is. Choose when it begins. Choose when it ends. Do not allow one video to decide the next 3 hours. Before sleeping, sit with a notebook. Review the day honestly. Do not ask whether you performed the plan perfectly. You did not need perfection. Ask what changed. Where did you keep your word? Where did you become distracted? What gave you energy? What drained it? When did you feel most focused? What emotion nearly returned you to an old habit? What did you complete? Write down 3 actions you respect. Perhaps you got out of bed without delaying. Perhaps you avoided the phone. Perhaps you worked for 1 focused hour. Perhaps you exercised. Perhaps you set a boundary. Perhaps you returned after losing focus. Do not dismiss small victories. Repeated small victories become a different identity. Then write 1 mistake. Only 1, not to punish yourself, to learn. Perhaps you checked the phone too early. Perhaps you planned too much work. Perhaps your break became longer than intended. Perhaps 1 conversation consumed too much energy. Ask what adjustment would make tomorrow stronger. Growth is not feeling guilty about the same mistake every night. Growth is making a correction. Prepare the next morning. Route tomorrow's priority. Put the phone away again. Set out what you need. Then release the day. Not everything was completed. That is normal. A meaningful life will always contain unfinished work. You do not need to carry all of it into sleep. Rest is not a reward reserved for people who have solved everything. It is part of the process that allows you to continue. As you lie down, understand what happened. You did not become a completely different person in one day. You did something more important. You proved that the old pattern is not your only option. You proved that you can begin before motivation arrives. You proved that your attention can be protected. You proved that discomfort does not have to make every decision. You proved that you can return after distraction. You proved that your life still responds to your choices. This is how everything begins to change. Not because the world suddenly becomes easier, because you become more conscious inside it. You stop waking up only to react. You stop giving the best part of yourself to noise. You stop waiting for someone else to rescue your discipline. You stop making tomorrow responsible for what can begin today. One day becomes evidence. Then evidence becomes confidence. Confidence makes the next day easier to begin. The next day becomes another vote. Repeated votes become a pattern. The pattern becomes identity. And identity begins shaping your future. Do not try to repeat every detail perfectly tomorrow. Repeat the principles. Awareness before reaction. Movement before stagnation. Creation before consumption. Priority before distraction. Responsibility before avoidance. Function before sleep. Adjust the schedule to your life. Perhaps you work at night. Perhaps your responsibilities begin early. Perhaps your available time is limited. The exact hours can change. The direction must remain. Give part of your best energy to your future. Protect your attention. Keep one promise that's called what you can control. Return quickly when you lose focus. After this video ends, Do not watch 5 more videos about changing your life. Take the first action. Put the phone away. Clear your work area. Write tomorrow's priority. Prepare your clothes. Drink water. Begin the plan. For more messages about discipline, focus, inner peace, and self-mastery, subscribe to Inspire Daily Life and continue building yourself one conscious day at a time. But remember, the video cannot create the change for you. The powerful feeling you have now will fade. The room will become quiet. Nobody will be speaking. Your old habits will begin calling. That is the moment that matters. Do not ask whether one day can change your entire life. Ask whether one day can change your direction. Because when the direction changes and you keep walking, the destination must eventually change too. Everything will not change because you lived one perfect day. Everything begins to change because for one day, you finally stop abandoning the person you are capable of becoming.